Alright my friends, welcome to another wood talk with Joe X. A knife sales wood talk. Why knife makers make a big minus, the sales drops. So these knife companies are not making these profits like they used to have. I think there are a few reasons and I will get to them right now. But first of all, I need to thank all the knife makers who is still sending me knives for free, like the TBK guys, Messerfieberde, Netfos, and I hope I don't forget any other big brands, but also some Polish knife makers who send me knives for free. And I really appreciate it, because I know at times like this are very hard, and when you are a small knife company, a small knife maker, you send me a blade for free. It's not as easy as it used to be. Of course, if it's doing great at my tests, it's positive advertising, but it could also be a negative advertising if the blade breaks too early. So it's a win-win situation when the blade is doing very good. But you know, I'm truth with my testing. When the blade sucks, I will say that it sucks. So I really appreciate this kind of gestures you're doing to me. I really like this, so thank you very much. I think you have to be a true fanboy of a knife company that you're still buying a lot of blades, especially if they are not in a budget range, if they are more expensive. And there are a few reasons for knife sales drops. I mean, I think everybody knows this, but the tariffs in America are a very big deal. Tariffs are custom tariffs all over the world. It's a big deal. When you have 50%, 20% tariffs on blade from the USA, I think you're not gonna sell a lot of blades made in the USA out to other countries. That's first. Then second, people don't have money. Inflation is sticking up. They're trying to tell us that inflation is around 3%, 4%, but if you're honest, inflation is 10 to 15% about everything. Everything is getting more expensive. Blades, food, stuff. And also made in the USA. Back in the day it stands for something. But even for us in Europe, when it says made in the USA, it could also be made somewhere else and put together in the USA. So you buy some parts outside of the US and then you fix it in the US and then you say it's made in the USA. So I think made in the USA doesn't has this stigmata anymore like it had before. Made in China. I mean, I'm the typical example. I had a lot of against China because there were a lot of copycats from China. They're even stealing my YouTube channel. It's called Bilibili in China. They copy every video I do, every video, and upload it on Bilibili. China has a history of copying stuff and producing at low quality, but they're picking up. China is getting better and better. I can see this at the Netfos blades. Of course, I get the Netfos blades for free, but still, they are low budget. They are around 40 to 70 euro. Low budget blades. They can take some abuse. Not the best, not the worst, but if you are in a lower budget and you don't mind made in China, I think it's not the worst. I think the headquarter is in the UK, but the blades are produced in China. But it doesn't mean that they are bad blades. It's D2 steel. They usually produce in 14C, 28N and D2 stainless steels, Netfos. And honestly, if I won't have enough money and I don't have to pay tariffs for these blades, I can buy it somewhere in Europe, I would buy it. I mean, for 40, 50 euro or for 60, 70 euro, the stab I tested from them, not too bad, not too shabby. Of course, you get some cheap cold steel stuff as well. But with cold steel, you cannot be sure if it's made in China, made in Taiwan. Less blades are made in the US. And even then, you cannot be sure if it's a good quality. So now it's the made in China crap. Of course, I do fund a lot of China, but there are a lot of nice Chinese people around there. They're pretty cool. Just the companies are copying stuff. And some YouTubers say all blades from China are copycats. Yes, they're copying a lot. As I said, my YouTube channel, they're copying a lot, but how many blades exist on this world? How many shapes of blades, and you cannot be sure anymore if it's a copy or not, because how many weird blades you're gonna do. There are millions of designs out there, and what more designs can you do? So I'm not letting this stick with the copying from the complete blade. Of course, Grow I think is also China. They're also copying a lot. I won't test them. I'm not a Netforce fanboy or so, but they are really good blades. Of course they break as well, but they're not too bad. Cold steel is still my favorite. Cold steel is my favorite and still will be my favorite for all time because of the folders. I like the folders, Talva, Espada, Voyagers. I like these blades. I like them a lot. So cold steel will also be my number one. This is why I'm very hard on Stickman and Luke Skywalker, because I want the same quality I had. I want it again. I will have it again. I want it again. Luke Skywalker, I want the quality back. Then there are the high-brand knives like Buse, Essie. I mean, Essie is a work tool. I like Essie. Essie is a cool brand, made in the USA. I think they're true made in the US. Buse also made in the US, but Buse, for example, it's way too expensive. It has no worth for me to pay for a blade over $500 US, 400 or even 600. That's much too expensive. I'm not doing this, especially in these days. And these blades are also not indestructible like they claim. So you can buy a cheaper cold steel. You have the same like a Buse, or you buy the Essie Junglas 2, and you have the same quality like with a Buse blade for a certain price. And I mean, how many blades do you need? You need for the zombie apocalypse. I mean, I made some videos. You need 3 types of blades. One smaller blade, a folder, a Spada XL smaller blade, then a fixed blade like the Essie Junglas. Like maybe if you have to, Becker PK9. I don't like the Beckers, they break too easy, but if you need to have them like a Becker or like a Tariffs Kramer, and you need a macheta from cold steel or from Okapi for 30-40 euro, and you're good to go. If you have these 3 blades and you treat them with respect, not like me, you will have them for a lifetime, and they will serve you well during the zombie apocalypse. So you don't need more blades. And the guys who are collecting blades, they will still buy blades even if they are more expensive. If you have no money for food, you need to cut it, you need to cut down, and this is why the knife sales drop. And this is with everything. Car sales drop, everything is dropping, and the economy is going to the shit in Europe, especially in Europe. And I don't think that the Trump tariffs is good for the economy in the US as well, because the prices in the US, they go up as well, even if you mix tariffs. Promotion is a thing. A lot of knife YouTubers, also knife companies, they do a lot of promotion. Some are good, some are bad. Actually, if a YouTuber get a blade for free, there's always the risk that he is doing kind of more promotion than testing. Especially a tabletops reviewer, when they are just showing the knife and saying how good it is, how nice it is, and they got this blade for free. I mean, maybe he's promoting the blade more than he should be. Also, this is with me, it's also risky when I got a blade for free. And of course, you hope that it will survive, that it will do very good in your test. If the blade sucks, it sucks. If it's good, it's good. I don't care who sent it to me. It is what it is. That's the risk when you're sending me blades. There's the risk that it sucks, and I will say that it sucks. If you are lucky and the blade is pretty awesome, it's a good advertising, it's a good promotion. So promoting blades on social media is very important for the knife brands, because I didn't know about Buse till someone of my commentators say all the time I should test Buse, and then I checked it. I didn't even know that Buse exists. And the same is with smaller knife makers. The world doesn't know that they exist. And YouTubers like me, or especially like DPK, the bigger ones, if a blade is on their show, it's good for them, because then the world knows the blade exists. Even if it's doing bad, there is no way of bad promotion. Even if it sucks, bad promotion, bad advertising is also good advertising, because the blade is on a show. People know the name of the blade. I think Netforce, for example, I always talk about Netforce, I don't know why. Netforce is very good at promoting the sending blades everywhere, people testing them, and so the word Netforce is in our mind. They can do it because they are a bigger company. Smaller guys cannot do it. Smaller guys cannot send 50 knives to other knife guys out there because they cannot afford this. And what I heard and what I know that some YouTubers are not testing blades made in China. I understand. Like Scab from Quiet Boys Outdoors, he only testing knives, I think, made in the US. He is only testing knives he likes. I completely understand this. Completely. I respect that as well. But smaller knife channels like myself, if I get a free blade, I test it. Even if I don't want to test it, a free blade is a free blade. You don't have to spend money on this blade and you make a video. So usually I test most of the blades I get. I have some exceptions. Evengrow, I'm not testing Evengrow. I'm saying it right now on August 2025. You can maybe I test it soon. I don't know. No, made in China blades have a very bad wording, a very bad standing out there in the knife community. Some are testing them, some not. I understand. Made in China. I mean, everything is made in China right now, and they are picking up. And the knives are not too bad as they used to be, and they have a good promotion. But of course, because of the economy, because of the wars outside, China is in a bad reputation. I don't know why everybody likes Taiwan and not China, but it's the same thing. If you don't know, China, Taiwan, same thing. And China will attack Taiwan soon, so there will be no Taiwan in a few years anymore. So I have no problem with China. I'm not a racist. Maybe some of you think I'm a racist, but I'm not. I'm a patriot, and I accept, I understand, I respect all nations. I don't care which religion, I don't care where you come from. I'm just getting pissed when you're in my country and eating up all the resources and you did nothing for my country, you're nothing paid in, then I'm get pissed. I don't care where you come from. I don't care if you're black, white, yellow, religion, Muslim, Buddhist, Christian. I give a shit, really. One nice cool YouTuber, I have to shout him out, it's Reese. Reese from Well Regulated. He's a really cool guy. He is designing blades for worktough gear. Edge attention! Tip is fucked, now prick! Edge! It survived the prick! Yep, and I did 5 minutes, 30 seconds at the prick. Worktough gear, I think, is one of the best promoters of their blades there is. They have a lot of knife designers around the world, especially in the US. These guys like Aurelia Borealis, Reese as well, they design blades for worktough gear. And Vic, he is the boss in Taiwan from the company. They produce these blades and they do very well. And most of the worktough gear blades in my testing were pretty awesome. Some of them broke earlier than expected, and they're doing a very good advertising. But for Europe, they are way too expensive. They are the bigger blades are more than 300 euro in Europe. Even if I ordered in Taiwan with the taxes, I get around 300 to 400 euro for one big blade like the RS. And this is way too expensive. And would be interesting how worktough gear is doing. If the sales go up, go down, because who is buying a blade? More than one blade when the blade is up 300 euro, if you can buy a cheaper one for 50 euro. I'm a lot on social media. I have a Facebook page now, it's Joe X on Facebook, and I read there on the worktough gear page, I think Reese is the admin, that the guys who buy worktough gear from the US, some guys, they want to have the plus on tariffs back from Vic, from the boss from worktough gear. So they want to have, I don't know, maybe 50%, 20% the tariffs they pay now for the worktough gear blades when they order it from Taiwan to the US. They want the money back from Vic, from the boss. I mean, what the fuck? I mean, are you fucking crazy? You have to blame President Trump for this, for the tariffs. He is the one to blame. And this is what I meant. The economy is a global thing. You cannot, like US, I completely disagree with these tariffs, because you're hurting the economy from the US more than without these tariffs. So everything imported to the US will be more expensive, like uranium, like blades. and now you want to have the money back. Blame your own country. Write to President Trump that you want to have the money back from the plus on tariffs. I mean, this is what I meant. Sales are gonna drop. Knife sales to the US are gonna drop, and the US will not export as much as blades as they did before. That's the thing. So the best way is to finish these tariffs. Don't do these tariffs. It's hurting the economy very hard, and it's hurting the whole economy worldwide. Mark my words. China will attack Taiwan soon, and then there will be no Taiwan anymore. And Taiwan has still now the advantage that people think made in Taiwan is better than made in China. There are some important things on a blade. I don't care how much it is. The blade should come sharp. Doesn't matter which steel, it should come sharp. It should withstand some abuse. It can break, yes, of course. It depends on the blade material, blah blah blah. It should be okay quality. It should have a good sheath, like a good leather sheath, a good kydex sheath. I don't like the Secure-X sheaths from cold steel, but they are okay as well. And they should have a cool handle, like micarta or G10. And the price very budget friendly, around 60-70 euro. If a blade can have these treats, it's an okay blade. Some examples: Tariffs Grama von Cecaribuco, but the sheath sucks. The Netforce blades usually come with a kydex sheath, which is cool. Cold steel blades come with a nice sheath. Work tough gear is too expensive. Then SE, too expensive. Even if they are the SE Junglas comes with the perfect sheath. I think the Junglas and the Junglas too, they come with the best sheaths on the market. They have mole straps and kydex, which is cool, but they're too expensive. Buse is very expensive blade, and it comes with a carton sheath, so Buse is a no-go in my opinion. The Polish blades I tested on my channel, they also are cool. They have a kydex sheath, leather sheath. The blade can withstand a lot of pressure. They're more expensive because they're not producing as much as bigger companies. Handmade blade, and you can support a local knife maker. You can also go with them. Pretty cool as well. So I had no Polish blade which sucked, so all of them, I think 3 or 4 I tested, were pretty awesome. And when I have these kind of blades, I actually don't care where they're made from, if they're made in Asia, in the US or somewhere else. And I want the best quality for my money, and if I have to pay it in China or in Taiwan, I will do it, because the knife company, what are they doing for us? They're shitting us with bad knives, bad quality, bad advertising. And so if I want to buy a blade, I will do it on my terms, and I don't care where it's made from. I just want to have a nice cool blade which can withstand some pressure, and it's deadly. I don't need no zombie tool, weird handle shape, just a normal blade under 100 euro. This is the way to go. And of course you're gonna hurt a lot of customers, a lot of knife companies with this wording, but everybody of us out there is alone. Nobody cares about you. Why would you care about a knife company, a big one? Why would you care? Who cares about you? No one. So buy cheap stuff, what you want, and don't get too brainwashed with big advertising, because Buse is advertising that the blades are indestructible. They are not. And believe me, a lot of other brands, knife makers, are doing the same shit. They're paying YouTubers to test their blades, to make good tabletops reviews, say it's indestructible, say 1000 times it's indestructible in a YouTube video, and the people will believe you. Check my videos, check my Buse videos, check my SE videos, check my Buck videos, then you know what the blades can take and not. So don't believe in all this advertising shit. Believe in YouTubers who really test the blades and not just talking good things. It's so nice, it looks so good. Do you know that feeling when a nut cracks? Exactly. Alright, I forgot Messerfieber. Messerfieber is also very budget friendly, indestructible blades. This is the Messerfieber Hawk 2.0, small blade, very thick, nice handle. Of course it's T10, it breaks more easy than G10, but this is around 50-60 euro. This blade is indestructible. I don't think that you can destroy it. It's N690 steel, stainless steel, and it's around 50-60 euro. This is pretty amazing. Comes with a leather sheath and a clip. So this blade is pretty cool. So very cheap one. Then also the Okapi blades. This is around 15 euro. Okapi folder, orange. Okapi orange. Pretty nice, old school blade. Very cheap, 15 euro. Nice, you cannot go wrong with Okapi, of course. I have here also the Netforce Hyena, also a newer blade from Netforce. This is around 50 to 60 euro. Has a nice micarta handle, a very thick handle. It's razor freaking sharp, very thin tip. So it will break, of course, this blade will break, I think, very soon. But you get a Kydex, you get a clip, a belt clip, and this blade is pretty awesome for the price. I mean, it's a normal, typical Netforce blade. You have some chimping here. Some people don't like chimping here. I don't like chimping as well. But if you want a cheaper one and you are into stuff like this, like Netforce, it's also cool. So nice Kydex, kind of sticks. It's sharp. Yeah. Razor. This blade is razor sharp. So if you're on a low budget, you have three items here, or 2 items. If I have to choose one of them, I would take, of course, the Messerfieber. I like this more because N690 steel. This is some stainless steel, maybe 14C N28. Quality control is also an issue with blades. So you can have the best knife brand you have if there are a lot of misses, hit and miss, if a lot of bad flukes out there off the blade, which can happen, of course. It's also a bad reputation. And made in China blades, they say, it's a saying that they are very bad at quality control. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if I would test 10 blades of the same type, that we have a different result. I think the result at 10 blades will be 90% the same. Maybe some break earlier than others. You can have a bad blade, but you will never know if you never test it. If you have a bad blade and then you never use it, and you have it in between, like the booster blades, you will never know what pressure they can withstand. And yeah, I mean, I talk a lot about Netforce because they send me a lot of blades to test. They send me also some blades for my running competition, which is awesome. I mean, are they the best blades? No, of course not. But they are picking up their game. And one of my favorite knife brands, I have to say, is Messerfieber. Not because I'm not sponsored by Messerfieber, but they are making that Joe X blade for me. I didn't know about them as well. Just the boss, Ahmed, reached out to me and asked if I want to test some blades. And then this relationship started. I never knew about Messerfieber, about this German brand. And I think most of my subscribers also. And this is what I mean with advertising. If you are coming to the right YouTuber, if you're coming to the right guy, to the right influencer, if you will, you're gonna get your blade promoted. But what I'm not doing is I'm sugarcoating Messerfieber. I'm testing them very hard, very hard. And I don't like the T10 handle. Actually, I hate the T10 handle. It's an okay handle to work with, but it breaks too easy. And when it's shit, it's shit. And I'm also saying this in my videos. Of course, I get very emotional because I'm kind of a lady boy, so I have emotions. But still, I tell you the truth about these blades. And it is what it is. It is what it is. And the Joe X blade is coming out, hopefully end of this year or next year. And it will have a micarta handle and not a T10 handle. We talked about this already. So I'm not sugarcoating anything. It is what it is. If you are a knife maker company and you want to have your knife real tested, then send it to me. I will test it, I will destroy it, and you will know what this blade can take. Don't send your blades. I mean, you can send it to tabletops reviewers, but I don't think that they will give you a really honest answer, because as I said, when you get stuff for free, you're prone that you say more good things than bad things. This is how it is. This is normal. I'm not judging anybody, but if you want to have a blade tested, send it to Joe X. Joe X talking to you. Just do it. Send me your blades. Alright, my friends. I hope you got the message. Bye! Yes! Hip hip hooray! Yeah! Nutcracker! We call him the Nutcracker! Oh yeah! Winner, winner, chicken dinner!